Previously on Bachelor in Paradise, pretty much every person I thought was likable changed my mind, the people I already thought were coming off badly just got worse, and miraculously, Brian was the hero. Ish. This week, the show starts with its original theme song. Almost paradise, we're knocking on heaven's door. Instead of the version that's been used all season. Perhaps to pacify people with nostalgia in the hopes they'd get less angry while watching this episode. It didn't work. The whole thing was a mess, and not because of loose feathers like the last time the cast made a mess. This time, they did it all with their personalities. It's week 7 in Paradise, and in Paradise, that means day 13. Around the resort, Alex unsuccessfully teaches Andrew French.
Oh, it's a hard language.
Brian helps Parisa get a pump on so she can smoke him at coconut soccer.
I know. I played college. Should I tell you?
And Leia finally feels tired enough to switch from contacts to glasses like her friend Jonathan did a while ago. Elsewhere, Kim tells Faith that the medics are putting him on a precautionary heart monitor. But the good news is that he can still participate in all the stupid little games, like this next one. The second relationship test is called Secret Rendezvous. The cast heads to the secret garden, naturally. But instead of teaching a boy to walk while his dad is out of town, the group is separated. Then Jesse asks them questions.
What are your favorite role-playing characters in the bedroom?
Whichever couple has the most matching answers, or close enough to matching answers, wins immunity at the next rose ceremony, where the rest of the group will vote to eliminate one man, and incidentally, also whichever woman he would have given a rose to. But the challenge is called Secret Rendezvous because if two people who aren't coupled up have enough matching answers, they can choose to explore their commonalities more later on a sneaky date that no one else will know about. That's why it's a secret rendezvous. The point of the game is to force everyone to say rendezvous a lot for the rest of the episode.
The two of you will have the opportunity to rendezvous later tonight.
The chance later tonight for a secret rendezvous.
I really don't care that much to be doing secret rendezvous.
You know a secret rendezvous is on the line tonight.
You will not know if your partner's going to go on a secret rendezvous.
Of course, you'll both have a chance to meet for a secret rendezvous later.
Yeah, like you ask someone to rendezvous. I feel like it doesn't sit well with me, the fact that people would be having secret rendezvous.
I don't know that anyone will actually rendezvous.
Will you play it safe or will you rendezvous?
I'm not going to rendezvous with anybody.
I found it a little odd that Brian wanted a secret rendezvous with her.
I'm not out there and I don't want Jeremy to think I'm having secret rendezvous because I'm not. I cannot be seen going on a secret rendezvous. Obviously, if I was interested in having a rendezvous, you would have known it, so.
Is rendezvous French? It is. What does it actually mean?
A meeting.
This challenge is also a chance for people to suddenly decide that they want to explore a new connection. But did the producers seriously expect people to jump ship this late in the season just because someone else also watches movies to relax? Like last episode's relationship test, Secret Rendezvous quickly devolves into rapid-fire trivia about the cast. Kathy and Keith have potential drinking problems, Alicia has a definite spelling problem, Faith has an extremely relatable way of de-stressing, and Jess is even more vanilla than Hakeem.
I'm sorry, you look chocolate, but you're vanilla.
The couple with the most matching answers, the winners, and theoretically the most compatible, are Jonathan and Leia, one of two couples who aren't actually a couple. Unsurprisingly, Jonathan thinks their win is crazy.
And then we win the combat is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Jonathan and Leia win immunity from the rose ceremony vote, but if they also won a date like Bailey and Jeremy did last time, it didn't survive the cutting room floor. Also unsurprising, with $500,000 on the line, absolutely no one wants to create tension by even entertaining the idea of a secret rendezvous except for Brian. But he's not doing it for romance. He just wants to use the production-provided alone time to finally tell Bailey that Jeremy's a simp for Susie. Partly because he thinks she should know, and partly because now it's advantageous for him that she know, since she might break up with Jeremy as a result, making it easier for Brian and Parisa to win money. But instead of being direct about why he wants to meet, Brian does this.
Consider it.
Then he follows it up with a note later on clarifying that he only wants to talk, but Bailey doesn't want to, and who would? So she stays in her room, leaving Brian to drink 2 glasses of champagne, then doze off downstairs alone. Later that night, or early the next morning if you're one of those people,
Well, now it's 1 a.m.
Brian approaches Bailey for a one-on-one talk that won't be called a secret rendezvous on Wikipedia, and she accepts.
So the night you got a rose, he expected Susie to stay here. He told us he made the wrong decision. He called her while she was at the airport and told her that she needs to come back. And during the bird dance, he had said, if Susie came back here, I would propose to her on the spot.
And while Brian tells Bailey, Parisa tells Alex what he's telling her, and once Alex tells other people what Bailey's been told, there's no telling what'll happen. Except there is, because it was captured on camera, and thank goodness, because I wouldn't believe it otherwise. The cast rallies behind Jeremy, ostracizes Brian, basically for being a tattletale, and they just retcon reality when they need to justify it.
No.
If she came back, I would give Susie the rose. And I'll propose to her on the spot. The phone call I made to Susie, this is something that happened 8 days ago. If she came back, I would give Susie the rose.
Put yourself in the crosshairs of something that was probably going to get addressed tomorrow.
To quote Wells, quoting Zoolander,
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Everyone's mad at Brian for giving the heads up to Bailey that Jeremy called another girl and was like, hey, I will leave paradise with you today if you come back. And no one thinks this is a huge red flag. Everyone's defending Jeremy and Brian's the bad guy? From where I'm sitting at the bar, Brian's the only guy doing the right thing here. What's happening?
And people's reactions are so ferociously pro-Jeremy, Brian and Bailey both start lying about the nature of their conversation in an attempt to protect him. But eventually the truth seeps out, mostly because Brian is a terrible liar.
People just think you went to talk to Bailey about the Jeremy call thing.
What call?
Oh, well then.
What call?
That he had a call when me and Bailey went on a date.
Jeremy?
Jeremy's Susie lust was such a public secret, Alex never has to finish her sentences while telling people what Brian's doing because everyone instantly knows what she's talking about. And because it's such public knowledge, Brian pretending that he doesn't know about the phone call to Susie after this long when he's Jeremy's roommate was probably the least believable lie he could have told. And now that he's been caught lying, people freak out about him even more.
I thought you were telling the baby about Susie. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Because I was like, dude, your integrity and character is way too high. It doesn't make sense.
He's got to give answers to a bunch of
He's not someone that has loyalty or integrity when it comes to this, environment.
But Brian was loyal to Bailey. Play the Wells clip again.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
So while the group continues to turn against Brian and I continue to turn against the group, upstairs, Bailey wakes Jeremy. He's been asleep this whole time. She confronts him about calling Susie. He admits it, downplays it, gets out of bed to briefly look for Bailey after she leaves his room sobbing, can't find her, is annoyed he was woken up, then quickly goes back to bed. Just like you'd expect someone to behave who cares as deeply for Bailey as Alex says Jeremy does. Back upstairs in their shared room, Alex comforts Bailey by making excuses for why she never told her about Jeremy either.
Oh, listen, he told me the night it happened, listen. And I said, you have to tell her. And then you guys talked, and he was like, it does, because he was hurt that you went on a date with Andrew. That's why. I feel like a bad friend leaving her.
I actually think Alex does come off like a pretty good friend. To the person she wanted to be a friend to.
Jeremy's my really, really good friend, and I was like, do I backstab my really good friend Jeremy? I just know how much Jeremy cares for her.
As Bailey packs her bags, she tells us that everyone gets to have a love story except her. But Jill said she could find love in a leper colony, then quit the show because no one was into her. 4 different men pursued Bailey. She just picked wrong. Meanwhile, during the Bailey, Jeremy, Brian less parts of the episode, we see a rare Jess and Spencer scene that's not interesting enough to talk about, which might be part of why we rarely see them. And Jonathan and Leia make up, as friends, then get excited to start competing without their hearts involved. Just what you want to hear from people on a dating show. On the morning of day 14, Bailey's bags are still packed, but she hasn't left yet. Dressed like she's about to have a one-on-one with Justin, she asks Jeremy if he really said that he'd proposed to Susie. He denies it, aka lies to her face, but Bailey readily accepts it because it's what she wants to be true. For weeks, I've thought this storyline would end with Bailey leaving Paradise heartbroken and betrayed, but with a great shot at becoming the next Bachelorette. Instead, she stayed together with one of the biggest villains in Bipstery. But at least Jeremy takes accountability for his actions. Just kidding, he doesn't.
Technically, this is something that I could have prevented.
Later on, it's Bailey's friends' turns to not take accountability.
I just don't want you to feel like everybody knew we were hiding it from you.
Except that's exactly what happened?
You telling me that everyone knew and no one wanted to tell my girl Bailey? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
Being cornered into siding with Wells and Brian was not on my Bippet list. At the PRCP, Brian changes his name to Grace because he's under fire and he takes shots from his castmates all night, especially from Andrew, Dale, Kat, and Spencer. Andrew and Spencer think Brian broke bro code by talking to Bailey before Jeremy, and now they don't want to hang out with him anymore because he might repeat what they say to their Paradise girlfriends too. But I don't get why they're so worried about that unless they've also spent a lot of time talking about wanting to propose to Susie. Spencer has been one of my favorite cast members all season, but I was suspicious when he showed up to this episode in an aloe hat, and after this scene, he'd fallen into my basket of deplorables along with everyone else. As for Kat, she's mad at Brian for a whole bunch of stuff she should be mad at other people for.
He's literally lying to Dale's face. Done. That's all I need to hear. I take loyalty really seriously, and he has been lying to everyone. Just to be honest, stand on it. If you're gonna do something, own it, right?
Kind of like when Jeremy lied to your face about Dale wanting to go on other dates, or when Dale lied to your face about how many times he kissed Allie Joe, or when Dale didn't own saying he'd date Alicia to watch you sweat, or when Jeremy didn't own calling Susie until someone else told Bailey over a week later. Isn't this exactly what Kat was upset with Dale for earlier this season? Not telling her about something that had happened days prior with another woman?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
Most of all, the group is adamant that Jeremy should have been the one to tell Bailey about Susie, not Brian. But
eventually, we expected Jeremy to say something. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
When's eventually? How much time left do we have here?
according to this episode, both Alex and Spencer had already told Jeremy to be honest with Bailey. But the way that works is supposed to be if you don't tell her, I will. Not, you should tell her and I'll wait patiently while you never do. One more time.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Crazy pills here. Crazy pills here.
I've seen enough Big Brother that I'm used to watching unlikable people win large sums of money. But I don't know if anything has or ever will be as deeply unsatisfying as witnessing any of this group win $500,000. At the rose ceremony, the cast casts their votes for which man to eliminate. There'd been some talk about targeting a platonic couple like Keith and Kathy, but in the end, in a shocking twist, the two least popular guys get the most votes, Kim and Brian. But before one of them becomes the first person survivored out of paradise, everyone else gives out roses. During, Andrew tells Alex that he loves her moral code, which would be a red flag for me given her morals throughout the Jeremy situation. Between Kim and Brian, it's Kim who ends up roseless, much to Spencer's chagrin. The group's decision probably wasn't close since the editors don't bother showing us all the votes, but Kim certainly didn't help himself by voting for Keith instead of Brian. Some people say they voted for Kim because of his heart problems, but his personality didn't come off too great either.
I stood there with the other men, the women, on my right, wondering what might happen on this hot and humid night.
Of course, with Kim's elimination comes Faith's, and they leave Paradise before this footage of them in the full season trailer ever aired in an episode. As the second consecutive golden couple leaves Paradise, but the younger people swear it's not an us versus them thing, Spencer alludes to an unholy alliance between him and Jess, Andrew and Alex, Dale and Kat, and Sean and Alicia. Not a golden couple in sight, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. How long will this new alliance last? Long enough for Kat to make her way through the rest of Jess's wardrobe? And will the stress of being excluded cause Parisa to lose more hair extensions?
What's wrong? Oh, dear God, what happened?
Another one bites the dust.
Find out what happens next week on another Bachelor in Paradise recap. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about the next video. Thanks again and see you then. Bye!